We are at a stage where it has become necessary to invite members of the public to come forward and provide any information that they may have on corrupt practices, fraud, any embezzlement of public resources. I'm here today to launch the public engagement platform through which members of the public may share information, knowledge, experience, or evidence on any acts of corruption, fraud, or embezzlement of the public resources for personal gain, directly or indirectly, in or involving any public sector entity.
Wow, greetings and welcome all of you. A new chapter begins as President Advocate Duma Boko, or others calling him Southern Traore, drops a political bombshell declaring total war on corruption, injustice, and deep-rooted systems holding Botswana or Africa back. No more fraud, no more injustice, no more business as usual. President Duma Boko has vowed to clean house from the highest offices to the grassroots. This isn't just politics. It's a revolution of accountability, fairness, and true leadership. As Africa watches closely, could Botswana join Burkina Faso to lead the way for a new era of Pan-African integrity and justice? Could this be the spark that ignites change across the continent of Africa? Stay tuned, my dear lovely family, because what is happening right now in Botswana might just inspire the rest of the continent to raise up and demand better.
Every place from where they are watching and interacting with me today. I interacted with the nation on the 20th of March, 2025, and announced the establishment of a forensic audit that would look into state entities, government ministries, government departments, statutory corporations, and regulatory bodies. Let me start with a recap of what I indicated as the objectives of this forensic audit, after which I will then provide a brief update to date. In the exercise of the powers conferred on me by Section 47, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of Botswana, I instituted a forensic audit to investigate, assess, and identify corruption, fraud, and embezzlement risks across government ministries, government departments, state-owned enterprises, regulatory and oversight bodies. I informed you then that the government of Botswana had contracted Alvarez and Marcel Middle East Limited, A&M, for the forensic audit services, and that the forensic audit would be undertaken in 3 phases. I'm pleased to inform you that the project is on the right track, and phase 1 of the project has been completed. This phase entailed a rigorous process of risk profiling of these entities and using the A&M methodology, on the basis of which the project team determined the 30 audits to be conducted as agreed with the A&M team. The forensic audit is now in phase 2. which entails the detailed audit of the 30 entities to be covered in accordance with the schedule established by and between the government and A&M.
The time for corruption is over. That's the voice of the lion, the king lion from the Kalahari Desert, the commander-in-chief and the president of Botswana, Advocate Duma Boko, declaring a war against corruption. This will not be an easy war because you are fighting with giants. You are fighting with people who are surrounding you. There are those who will try even to take the life of president in order for them to safeguard their interests. But people of Botswana, people of Africa, let us support a leader like Duma Boko, who has decided to come in the far front to fight corruption. Corruption is killing many Africans. More Africans are being killed by corruption, even more than civil war. Corruption is a bad thing. All of us, we declare that corruption is a bad thing, but we are still engaging in corruption. African politicians are so rich because of corruption. Not all, some of them. If you go to Europe, you find richest people. They have companies, they have products. But if you come to Africa, you find richest people, politicians, they have nothing. They don't have companies, they don't have products to sell, but they are so rich, they have a lot of money. They hide money in some island. They even not keep money in Africa. They keep their money in Europe. Corruption is a cancer to our mother continent, Africa. So let us dive a little bit on how corruption is destroying our mother continent, Africa. Who say no, across the vast plains of Africa, rich with gold, diamond, lithium, oil, and other minerals, and the spirit of made people, lies a hidden disease, a silent killer, not a virus, not war, but something for more dangerous: corruption. It hits from within, it steals futures, it turns dreams into dust, and for decades it has robbed Africa not just of wealth, but of dignity, justice, and trust. Africa holds over 30% of the world's mineral resources. It feeds nations beyond its border, yet schools lack chalk, hospitals lack beds, medicine, roads full of pits scramble. Young people graduate into joblessness. Why? Because millions meant for development are stolen, contracts inflated, ghost workers paid, bribes exchanged like daily bread, while the rich get richer and the people suffer. The poor continue to be poor. This is not fate, it's a system designed to keep the masses down and a few untouchable. That's what corruption is doing in the continent of Africa. Corruption isn't just a politician pocketing money. It's a child dying in a hospital because medicine was sold on the black market. It's a farmer losing land because officials forged papers. It's university student forced to pay bribes to pass. Or woman denied justice in court because she didn't afford something small. From police officers collecting tea money to presidents looting national treasuries, corruption is everywhere. It's cultural, systemic, normalized. but something is changing, family. From street of Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso to the courts of Kenya, from youth protests in Nigeria to bold speeches in South Africa, a new Africa is rising. Leaders like Captain Ibrahim Traore are rejecting foreign control and corruption. Now, Botswana's new president, Duma Boko, has declared a war not against the country, but against the root eating its own nation from within. Corruption, injustice, fraud, and unfair system. He said no more stealing from the people, no more silence, no more fear. He is setting the tune, not just for Botswana, but for every African leader who still has a conscience. But change won't come from the top alone. It must rise from the ground, from the teachers who refuse bribes, the youth who speak out, the citizens who demand accountability. We must reject the lie that corruption is just how things are. It is not just our culture. It is not our dignity. It is not our destiny. It is a betrayal of our ancestors who fought for freedom, and our children who deserve a future. Imagine an Africa where leaders serve, not steal, where budgets build bridges, not bank account, where merit wins, not money, where the courts are fair, the police protect, and justice flow like a river. This is possible, but only if we fight, and fight start with truth. The truth that corruption is our enemy, and only we can end it. Let this be the moment Africa says enough. Let us support leaders who are bold enough to say no. Let us become the generation that made corruption history, not heritage. Africa must rise, and the war against corruption starts now. So family, friends, fellow Africans, that is how corruption destroying our mother continent, Africa. So family, this is not a simple war. This is a difficult war. This is the war that has killed and taken out many leaders in the continent of Africa. So it's not a simple war, because it's the giants who are engaging in corruption. So we have to support a leader like Duma Boko, Traore, and others who are fighting against corruption. We know that it will not be a simple thing for President Duma Boko to win or to achieve. There are those who will wait him to leave the office, then they will continue with corruption behavior. But we need young people to raise up and to join this lead and to set systems that will say no to corruption. We see what's happening to China. When you being convicted and proven that you have engaged in corruption, they hang you. That's what's happening in China. And that's why you see things moving in the right direction. But in Africa, you find leaders taking corruption. We have rich people who we don't know where they get money. They don't have companies, but they're so rich. Africa has richest politicians who are engaging in corruption. If you ask them, what are they doing? Nothing. But they're so rich. They are looting our resources. So from Botswana to Ouagadougou, from Ouagadougou to Eritrea, to Djibouti, to South Africa, all of us, we must say no corruption. This is not a simple war. This is a war that is difficult. We hope. So family, friends, fellow Africans, we hope President Boko will win this battle, because this is not an easy battle. After that, let me say thank you for being with me. Thank you for being part of this movement, this revolution. Make sure that you share this video to other Africans and tell them that the time for corruption is over. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa.